everyone, this is Gabriella Brown with Living Earth Foods and The Secret Ingredient. Today I'm going to share with you my famous potato soup recipe. Now before you think, oh, potatoes are high in carbs, we shouldn't eat them, I don't agree. I've been eating potatoes since I can remember, and even when I was teaching how to lose weight back in 1998 online, way back then I talked about potatoes, how they were actually a source of protein. Potatoes are a good thing. I still eat them and I've still been able to maintain my weight all these years. Don't be afraid of potatoes, just make sure they're organic. So what we're going to do is peel these potatoes and chop this onion, sweat it in a little bit of olive oil, add water and the secret ingredient, let those cook, and then we're going to whip those up in a blender and you're going to have the most incredible potato soup and base for all kinds of other soups. You're not going to believe it. It's so delicious. It's got its own creaminess on its own, and it's vegan and it's delicious, and you can make it any way you want. If you don't want to be vegan, you don't have to be. You can add some chicken too if you want. But in the meantime, we're just going to make this potato soup right now, this base. Let me get these potatoes peeled and then we'll get started. Okay, the potatoes are done, and how do I know? I can smell them. There's this certain smell that food has when it's finished. When it's completely cooked, it has a certain smell. It's very subtle, and you gotta be quick, but I'm pretty sure they're done. So I'm gonna open this up and we're gonna find out. What's important, and this is vital to this soup, you cannot overcook the potatoes. They have to be done just so they're done, and these are just done. They can't be overdone. If they're overdone, you'll have a grainy soup, and what we're shooting for is a super creamy soup that could be the base for all kinds of soups. You know how a lot of recipes, those quick recipes, they call for a can of soup mix? Well, this is your soup mix here. This is your can of soup mix, but the difference is there's no MSG, there are no preservatives, there are no chemicals. It is all natural and good for you and organic. So these are done. Now this is a 5-pound bag of potatoes in an 8-quart stock pot. And I'm gonna add 2 ounces of the secret ingredient. This will hydrate in there in a few minutes. So now these are finished. I'm gonna turn off the heat and we are going to process these in a Vitamix or a Blendtec. I'm gonna use a Vitamix today. You can use a Blendtec, you can use any really good blender. The better, the Ninja, you know, whatever you got. I prefer a Vitamix over anything, and I do have a Blendtec, I did buy one. I find the Blendtec is not, it's just not sturdy enough for me. I haven't used it long term, but I prefer the Vitamix. I'm just old school. Vitamix has a new Vitamix, I believe it's a 7200. Fantastic, I saw it at Whole Foods today. It's gorgeous. It has a big wide container just like the Blendtec. So they took Blendtec's idea of a bigger container and they applied it to the Vitamix. The base is much heavier than the Blendtec, which I like. Anyway, this is ready to process. When you put your potatoes in the blender, fill it up with potatoes, and then add the liquid. It smells really good. Liquid, it's kind of thick. But you can see already how creamy it is. It just becomes totally creamy. And people think that I've added cream to their soup, and I haven't. so yummy. You want to transfer this to another container because you need to process all of it. Now, I'm putting this in a crock pot because I'm actually going to bring this to a neighbor who just had a baby. So what a better gift than hot potato soup on a snowy day. It's actually snowing here in Atlanta, can you believe it? That's right, it's snowing in Atlanta, and so we are making some hot soup. Some more. Okay, we're done processing the soup, and you can see that it's totally creamy and delicious. This is what you want, just like this. This is when you're going to test it for salt, and it does not have enough salt. Now, I purposely formulated the secret ingredient with less salt because I personally believe that salt is it's the absolute key to delicious cooking. But people are afraid of salt because they don't understand salt. They don't understand that some salts are not good for you. The salt in the secret ingredient, they are full of minerals. They are good for you. They do not cause swelling in the body like a regular table salt, and I'll go into that some other time. But this does need some more salt, so I'm gonna add some bamboo salt. And just so you know, the bamboo salt, in Korea, it's taken as a health supplement. People actually eat teaspoons of this every day. It's pure minerals. It's been processed in such a way that all of the contaminants have been taken out of the sea salt. They actually take the salt, they put it in big bamboo poles, they cover it with clay, and they bake this. They roast it actually on an open fire, an open pine fire. They roast it. And this process, they do this 9 different times. And each time it takes out more and more of the impurities. So you get a pure salt that it's loaded with minerals and so good for you. So that's what I just put in here. I put in more minerals and more nutrition and added a lot of taste. The bamboo salt has an incredible taste too. Taste it. Don't taste it, should we?
It's too salty or not?
This is not too salty. Give me just a little bit more. This is good. So this is either a potato soup or this is a base for all kinds of soups. You can add steamed vegetables to this. You know, you don't even have to steam them. If you just put in chopped vegetables and you warm this up, and you'll have a delicious soup. Now you want to keep in mind, if you add more vegetables, you're going to need to up the salt. So anytime you add another product or another ingredient to this, it's going to need more salt. So keep that in mind. You want to keep the salt levels just right. So here is a potato soup. I highly recommend this. It's a favorite in my family and amongst my friends. And this is going to go to a lovely lady who just had a little baby girl. Hope she likes it. This is Gabriella Brown with Living Earth Foods and the Secret Ingredient. Thank you for watching today. See you next time.